Okay, so get this. The blueprint for Wi-Fi, I mean, the tech behind it, was dreamt up by a total Hollywood star.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, wow. The most beautiful woman in the world.
Often called that, yep.
Yeah.
But her story, it goes way beyond just the silver screen, you know?
Of course.
Today, we are going to uncover how she went from walking red carpets
Yeah.
to completely revolutionizing how we talk to each other.
It is really something, how she really defied expectations.
Huh.
She wasn't content with just being this Hollywood icon.
Yeah.
She really craved the challenge, the intellectual challenge,
Yeah.
constantly pushing the boundaries, what people thought she was capable of.
So where do we even begin with someone like Hedy Lamarr?
Well, let's rewind
Okay.
all the way back to her childhood.
Okay.
Vienna, 1914.
Okay.
Hedy, not your typical little girl.
Right.
While other kids were playing with, dolls, she was taking apart her music box,
Wow.
driven by this insatiable curiosity to understand how things work.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Imagine a 5-year-old just dissecting a music box.
I know.
Talk about like an early sign of an
Well,
inventor's mind.
Absolutely. And this intellectual curiosity, stayed with her.
Yeah.
Even as she found early success in acting.
Right.
But things took a very sharp turn when she married Friedrich Mandel
Oh, yeah.
at just 18.
Okay.
No, he wasn't just some, rich guy.
Right.
He was a powerful Austrian arms dealer
Wow.
with ties to Mussolini and Hitler.
Oh, that's intense.
Yeah, heavy stuff,
Yeah.
straight out of a spy movie.
Yeah, totally.
And though this marriage, it did ultimately end, she had to escape.
Right.
This experience, it was just so crucial to her later invention.
Yeah.
Imagine being trapped in this world, but yet surrounded by, all this cutting edge science,
Right.
military technology.
Wow. So even though it was a difficult situation,
Yeah.
those experiences with Mandel kind of planted the seeds
Hmm.
for her future breakthroughs. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Hedy's escape from this marriage, it wasn't just a personal victory. It was a turning point.
Okay.
Yeah, that really propelled her towards her destiny.
Wow.
She fled to London, and she carried this valuable knowledge with her, knowledge that would later blossom into this revolutionary invention.
Okay, but hold on. I mean, we're talking about the woman who becomes a Hollywood icon.
Of course.
How did she go from fleeing Europe
Right.
to the bright lights of Hollywood?
Well, I mean, you can't deny her beauty, right?
Right.
MGM discovered her, and she quickly became one of the biggest stars of that era.
Yeah.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Fame. It wasn't enough for Hedy.
Oh, okay.
She found Hollywood life
Yeah.
with its emphasis on looks and, just superficiality, very stifling.
So even though she was at the height of Hollywood success,
Yeah.
she felt unfulfilled.
Exactly.
Like something was missing.
Yeah. She yearned for more intellectual stimulation.
Okay.
The world saw this, glamorous actress.
Yeah.
Hedy was busy behind the scenes, swimming,
Okay.
tinkering, even
Well,
inventing.
yeah.
She even came up with a fizzy cola tablet
Oh,
years before anyone else.
wow. Okay.
It just shows her constant drive to solve problems
Okay.
and improve things.
That's incredible. But knowing what we know now,
Right.
it's almost heartbreaking to think that when World War II broke out,
Right.
Hedy approached the National Inventors Council,
Yeah.
ready, eager to give her skills, her knowledge
Totally.
to the war effort.
Yeah.
And they basically brushed her aside.
I know, it's such a tragic example of how, brilliance can be overlooked because of prejudice,
Yeah.
They
Wow.
essentially told her to sell war bonds,
Oh, wow.
leverage her beauty instead of her intellect.
Wow.
Imagine the frustration being told, you're too beautiful to invent.
Oh my gosh, it boggles the mind.
I know, it's crazy.
But thankfully,
Yeah.
Hedy's story doesn't end there.
Right.
Enter Howard Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The eccentric billionaire aviation pioneer.
Yes.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, like another Hollywood romance,
You
right?
heard?
But their connection went way deeper.
Way deeper.
Than the superficial Hughes was
Yeah.
different. He recognized and he encouraged
Totally.
Hedy's scientific mind.
Yeah.
He gifted her a portable chemistry lab
Wow.
for her trailer.
No way.
Gave her access to his team of chemists,
Right.
and they even collaborated on aircraft design.
That's amazing.
Hold on, aircraft design?
I know.
What did Hedy know about airplanes?
Well, she was a very keen observer of nature.
Okay.
Fascinated by birds
Yeah.
and the movement of fish.
Okay.
Hedy, she believed that by studying these natural forms, they could improve aircraft designs.
Right.
Make them more efficient, more aerodynamic.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
Hughes, unlike so many others, he saw beyond the Hollywood facade.
Yeah.
And he nurtured her curiosity,
Totally.
her intellectual curiosity.
Yeah.
And this brings us to the birth of frequency hopping.
Yes.
The invention that would change the world as we know it.
Totally.
The year was 1940.
Okay.
World War II is raging.
Yeah.
German U-boats are wreaking havoc
Yeah.
on Allied ships.
Right.
Using radio jamming to just disrupt, communications,
Right.
torpedo attacks.
Totally.
Hedy, always the problem solver.
Right.
Comes across an article about radio-controlled torpedoes.
Okay.
And just instantly
Yeah.
spots a fatal flaw.
Okay.
They're vulnerable to jamming.
Interesting.
So she saw a problem
Yeah.
that no one else had considered.
Right.
And she felt compelled to find a solution.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And she had a very unique approach.
All right.
She teams up with George Antheil,
Okay.
not a scientist,
Okay.
but an avant-garde composer.
Okay.
Known for his unconventional thinking
Okay.
and his use of synchronized instruments.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was this unlikely partnership that
Yeah.
was key to their breakthrough.
Wait, a composer?
Yeah.
That's so unexpected.
I know, right?
How did that even...
Well, Hedy, she understood that
Yeah.
innovation, true innovation, often thrives on bringing together seemingly unrelated disciplines.
Right, okay.
And she recognized Antheil's expertise, synchronizing all these multiple instruments,
Right.
creating this interplay of sounds
Yeah.
could be applied to radio frequencies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did they actually come up with this concept of frequency hopping?
Right.
What does that even mean?
So think of a piano keyboard, right?
Okay.
With each key representing a different radio frequency.
Okay.
So instead of transmitting on a single frequency, which
Right.
makes it very easy to jam,
Yeah.
their system would rapidly hop between these frequencies, like a pianist, playing a melody.
So it's constantly changing notes.
Exactly.
Making it almost impossible for the enemy to jam the signal.
Yeah, impossible to jam.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And this was the birth of frequency hopping.
Yes.
The ingenious concept.
Yeah, it would later be known as spread spectrum technology.
Okay.
Total game changer.
Yeah.
A way to make communication basically jam resistant.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And to think
Yeah.
this revolutionary idea came from a Hollywood actress and an avant-garde composer.
Crazy.
But did their invention get the recognition it deserved? Did it even make a difference in the war?
Well, that's where things get a little complicated.
Okay.
And we'll dive deeper into that in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, you've definitely got me hooked.
Good.
This is way more fascinating than I ever imagined.
It's a great story.
We'll be right back to uncover the rest of Hedy Lamarr's story.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the incredible life of Hedy Lamarr. It's amazing how she went from escaping, a restrictive marriage to being with all the Hollywood elites.
Right.
And then boom, comes up with this groundbreaking invention. It changed the world.
It's a testament to her curiosity
Yeah.
and just her refusal to be confined
Totally.
to any one category.
Yeah, and remember,
Yeah.
this is a woman who was dissecting machines as a kid.
Totally.
Having these high-level discussions, scientific discussions with her first husband.
Right.
And collaborating with Howard Hughes on aircraft design.
I know.
And then she just turns around and revolutionizes communication.
Yeah, talk about range.
Seriously, mind-blowing. But
Yeah.
before we get back to her invention,
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the fact that she teamed up with a composer
Yeah.
of all people
I know.
to develop this complex technology that's just so out of the box.
Right. Well, Hedy had this intuitive understanding that true innovation often arises from unexpected collaborations. She recognized that Antheil's expertise in synchronizing multiple instruments,
Yeah.
creating this interplay of sounds,
Right.
could be applied to radio frequencies.
So instead of just sending a signal on one steady frequency,
Right.
they created a system where the signal rapidly jumps
Exactly.
between different frequencies.
Yeah.
So it's incredibly difficult to jam.
Like a game of hide and seek.
Okay.
High-tech hide and seek.
Okay, I mean, I'm starting to get it now.
Yeah.
But can you break it down even further?
Sure.
I mean, I use Wi-Fi every day.
Right.
But I have no clue how it actually works.
So imagine you're trying to have a conversation in a really crowded room
Okay.
and it's really noisy.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's hard to hear the other person.
Yeah, there's so much interference.
Yeah, totally. Like trying to talk over like a bunch of screaming kids.
Right, exactly.
Impossible.
Now imagine if you and the person you're talking to had a secret code where you both rapidly switch to different parts of the room,
Right.
always staying like one step ahead of the noise.
Okay.
That's kind of what frequency hopping does.
So instead of staying in one spot,
Right.
where the the noise can drown you out,
Exactly.
you're constantly moving around.
Right.
So it's impossible for the noise to like target you.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And because both the transmitter and receiver, they're synchronized
Right.
to hop to new frequencies at like predetermined intervals.
Okay.
The message, it gets through, loud and clear,
Oh.
despite any attempts to like jam the signal.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And this is the foundation for so much of the wireless technology
Right.
we use today. It's like
Yeah.
Hedy and Antheil were decades ahead of their time.
Totally.
But did their invention actually make a difference during the war? Like, did the military use it?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, right.
And this is kind of where the story takes another, ironic twist.
Okay.
Despite the brilliance of their invention,
Yeah.
the U.S. Navy initially rejected it.
Why would they do that?
I know it seems like a no-brainer,
Right.
especially during a war.
Yeah, when secure communication was critical.
Right. There were a few reasons.
Okay.
First, the technology was very complex for its time,
Okay.
and some military officials, they doubted its feasibility.
Okay.
But there was also this sense that Hedy's background
Yeah.
as a Hollywood actress and
Yeah.
a European immigrant,
Right.
played a role in their skepticism.
So they underestimated her because of her beauty and her past.
Essentially,
It's
yes.
just wrong on so many levels.
Right. It is a stark reminder of how, prejudice and stereotypes
Yeah.
can just hinder innovation.
Yeah.
Here was this brilliant woman
Right.
with a revolutionary idea.
Yeah.
And yet she was dismissed because she didn't fit the mold
Right.
of what people expected.
Right, from a scientist or an inventor?
Right. Exactly.
It makes you wonder, like, how many other groundbreaking ideas
Yeah.
have been, like, overlooked,
Yeah.
rejected throughout history,
Oh,
simply
yeah.
because of who the inventor was?
Yeah, it's a sobering thought.
It really is. But thankfully,
Yeah,
Hedy's story doesn't end there.
right.
While her invention wasn't used during World War II,
Right.
the patent for frequency hopping
Yeah.
was eventually granted.
Yes, in 1942.
Okay.
And although it kind of lay dormant for years,
Right.
its potential was eventually recognized.
So how did this technology go from being, rejected by the military
Right.
to becoming like the backbone of our wireless world?
So fast forward
Okay.
to the 1960s.
Sounds
The
good.
Cold War was in full swing.
Right.
And the need for secure military communication
Well.
more critical than ever.
Yeah.
That's when the US government kind of revisited Hedy's invention.
Okay.
They realized that frequency hopping or spread spectrum,
Right.
as it was known now, was the key to creating these jam-resistant communication systems.
So it took the Cold War
Yeah, pretty much.
for them to finally see the value
Right.
in her invention. Better late than never, I suppose.
Absolutely. And once they embraced spread spectrum technology,
Yeah.
it quickly spread beyond just, military applications.
Okay.
By the 1980s, it was being used in, everything from satellite communications to mobile phones.
And then, of course, came the internet, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
Suddenly, like, everyone needed Wi-Fi
right.
to connect their computers and devices wirelessly.
Yeah, and guess what technology made Wi-Fi possible?
I mean, it has to be.
Frequency hopping.
Yeah.
It's the invisible force,
Right.
It keeps our signals from colliding.
Right.
And allows us to just enjoy this
Yeah.
seamless wireless connectivity.
This is blowing my mind.
It's amazing.
I never realized that something as simple as connecting to Wi-Fi was based on such a complex and ingenious invention.
Yeah, Hedy Lamarr's legacy. It's
Okay.
it's woven into our digital lives.
It truly is. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to ask.
Yeah.
Did Hedy ever get like the recognition she deserved? I mean, during her lifetime.
Yeah.
She was mostly known for like her Hollywood glamour.
Yeah.
Not for being this technological genius.
Right. It is sad to say.
Yeah.
But for many years, Hedy's contributions, to science and technology
Yeah.
were largely overlooked.
Wow.
It wasn't until like the late 1990s,
Okay.
as the digital age was taking off,
Yeah.
that people started to rediscover her story
All right.
and recognize the impact of her invention.
So did she at least get to see, like, her invention revolutionize the world before she passed away?
Sadly, no.
Oh, wow.
Hedy passed away in 2000
Okay.
at the age of 85.
Okay.
Just as the internet, was becoming this, like, ubiquitous part of our lives.
Wow, but I'm glad that her legacy didn't just, like, fade away.
It did, no.
So how was she finally recognized?
Yeah, so in 1997,
Okay.
she received the Electronic Frontier Foundation's Pioneer Award,
Okay.
which recognizes individuals who have made, significant contributions to the advancement of computer-based technologies.
Okay.
And then in 2014,
Yeah.
she was posthumously inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, alongside, other visionaries.
Right. Thomas Edison, the Wright brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. It's so gratifying to know that she finally received the recognition
Right.
she deserved, even if it came a bit late.
It's a testament to, the enduring power of invention
Yeah.
and a reminder that true brilliance can never be truly buried, even if it takes, time to be fully appreciated.
I mean, we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but there's still one piece of the puzzle
Okay.
I'm curious about.
Yeah.
We talked about the invention, its impact,
Yeah.
the delayed recognition.
Yeah.
But what about, like, the ethical implications? I mean, we're living in a world where we're constantly connected,
Right.
constantly generating data.
Right.
Our privacy is constantly under threat.
Yeah, it's a big question.
Did Hedy ever anticipate any of this?
It's a fascinating question,
Yeah.
and one that we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, you've definitely piqued my interest.
Good.
I can't wait to see where this deep dive takes us next. Welcome back to our deep dive. Into this just incredible life and legacy of Hedy Lamarr.
Yeah.
We have journeyed from, like, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood
Yeah.
to, like, the front lines of World War II.
Right.
Uncovering this story of brilliance and perseverance and ultimately, a
Yeah.
technological revolution. It's shaped the world as we know it.
As with any, groundbreaking invention,
Yeah.
the ripple effects of Hedy's creation,
Yeah.
frequency hopping,
Yeah.
they extend far beyond its, initial purpose. Like,
Oh.
It's like dropping a pebble into a pond.
Right. Watching the waves spread outwards,
Yeah.
touching every corner of our
Yeah.
modern digital landscape.
It's truly remarkable to think that something, she conceived of back in the 1940s,
Right?
born out of a desire to, like, help defeat the Nazis,
Yeah.
is now, like, the foundation for the technology that connects us all.
Yeah.
But like we've hinted at,
Right.
this interconnectedness comes with its own set of challenges.
Of course.
Some of which, Hedy herself could never have predicted.
Right. Well, we've explored the positive impacts
Yeah.
of her invention.
Yeah, like,
The wireless freedom, the access to all
Yes.
this information,
Right.
the seamless communication.
Yeah.
It's crucial to acknowledge
yeah.
the other side of the coin.
Exactly. I mean, we live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with information. The lines between, like, work life, personal life,
Right.
they're blurred.
Yeah.
And where our every move is, can be tracked. Yeah.
Analyzed. Like, we've traded our privacy for convenience.
Right.
Without, like, really fully understanding the implications.
It's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's one that's becoming increasingly relevant, as
Right.
technology just keeps advancing
Yeah.
at this, like, exponential pace.
Right.
Hedy's invention, while revolutionary,
Yeah.
it has inadvertently, like, opened up this Pandora's box
Oh, wow.
of ethical and societal dilemmas.
So how do we even begin to, like, grapple with these, like, complex issues?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed
Yeah, I get it.
by the sheer scale of the digital world.
Right.
And the potential threats to
Thanks
our
for arguing
place.
this. Yeah, the digital landscape can feel like this,
Right.
vast and uncharted territory. But I believe that by understanding the history,
Right.
the evolution of this technology that's, like, shaping our lives,
Yeah.
we can become more, informed and empowered participants
Okay.
in shaping its future.
I like that. Becoming, like, active participants, not just,
Right.
passive consumers.
Totally.
But where do we even start?
Yeah.
What can we do as
Yeah.
individuals to, like, protect our privacy?
Well, I think for starters, we have to educate ourselves
Right.
on how our data is being collected,
Right.
stored, and used.
Right.
We have to be aware of the digital footprints we leave behind
Right.
with every, interaction we have online, every app we download, every location we visit.
So it's about being mindful of our online activity and understanding the consequences of our choices.
Totally. It's about taking control, of our
Liberty.
digital identities
Right.
and setting boundaries for how our data is used.
That makes sense, but it also feels, a bit daunting.
Of course.
It's like we're constantly playing catch up,
Yeah.
trying to stay one step ahead of this ever evolving technology
Hold on.
and the companies that are collecting our data.
Yeah, it can definitely feel that way. But it's important to remember that, we as consumers, as citizens, we have a voice.
Okay.
We can demand greater transparency and accountability from the tech industry.
Okay.
We can advocate for stronger privacy laws,
Right.
regulations, and
Yeah.
we can support the organizations that are fighting to protect our digital rights.
So it's not just about individual actions.
Right.
It's about collective action.
It is, yeah, yeah.
Pushing for systemic change.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing
Right.
that technology isn't, inherently good or bad.
Right.
It's a tool.
Right.
It can be used for, lots of purposes.
Right.
And it's up to us as a society to decide
Yeah.
how we want that tool to be used and what kind of digital future we want to create.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
But Hedy's story, it reminds us.
Right. That we're not just passive bystanders,
Yeah.
We have the power
Right.
to shape, its trajectory and
Yeah.
ensure that it serves humanity.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Exactly. And her legacy
Yeah.
beyond the invention itself is a call to action.
Okay.
A reminder that, innovation and progress should always go hand in hand
Right. Yeah.
with, ethical considerations.
Right.
And a deep respect for human values.
As we wrap up our deep dive
Right.
into the incredible life
Yeah.
of Hedy Lamarr,
Yeah.
I'm just left with a sense of awe and inspiration.
She was amazing.
She defied expectations, broke down barriers, and ultimately just left an indelible mark on the world.
Yeah. And I hope her story serves as a beacon for all of us.
Yeah.
Encouraging us to, embrace our curiosity,
Yeah.
challenge the status quo, and just never underestimate the power of human ingenuity
Yeah.
to shape a better future. Beautifully said. And to you, our listener, we leave you with this.
Okay.
What will your contribution be?
Yeah. Good question.
How will you use your voice
Right.
and your actions
Yeah.
to shape the digital world
Right.
we all inhabit?
The big question.
The future is waiting to be written,
It is.
and each of us has a role to play.
We do.
Thanks for joining us
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
on this incredible journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep